Today, as the team behind the latest magical Disney adventure present their film in Paris, we're talking about 100 years of the biggest media company on the planet. Let's start with a look back at the life of the man who created it all, Walt Disney.
He changed our childhoods, fed our imaginations, and fascinated the world. His name became a brand. Of course you know Disney, but do you know Walt? There are three things that inspired his success: a rabbit, France, and the steam engine. Born in 1901, young Walter grew up on a farm in the U.S. state of Missouri with a very strict father and a growing passion. His uncle was a train driver and would tell the family when he'd pass through town. Walt's love for trains was the beginning of a long story. For Disney, trains were everything. In the backyard of his Los Angeles home, Walt built a miniature steam engine and railroad. It was this passion project that would give him the idea to build an amusement park.
All who come to this happy place, welcome.
There's also a bit of France in Walt's story. Disney may be a symbol of American imperialism and culture, but the name was made in France. His ancestors came from Isigny-sur-Mer in Normandy.
His ancestors went to England with William the Conqueror, then to Ireland, Canada, and finally the US, where Walt Disney was born. And actually the name Disney comes from two French words, d'apostrophe Isigny, which was combined into Disney.
Walt Disney discovered France at 16 and was inspired by it throughout his life. A chateau in Carcassonne became the castle in Sleeping Beauty, Mont Saint-Michel, Rapunzel's tower. But he fell in love with Paris, a constant source of inspiration. And finally, there was a rabbit. Mickey was not the first character created by Walt Disney. He had first imagined Oswald, a little black and white rabbit, but he lost the rights to another studio and was back at square one. It was then he created a little mouse, strongly resembling Oswald, but with round ears. He was originally called Mortimer, but Disney's wife disliked the name and suggested Mickey instead. Walt also created his voice.
Hey, Poodle! There she comes!
Walt Disney died almost 60 years ago, but his characters are immortal.
The 62nd Disney movie is out just in time for Christmas. It's called Wish, and it's from the creators of Frozen. Let's go meet the team behind it.
Imagine a place where wishes come true, where your heart's desire can become a reality. What if I told you that place is within reach?
Fawn and Chris, hello.
Hello.
Congratulations on the film.
Thank you.
It's called Wish. The song When You Wish Upon a Star from Pinocchio has become the signature theme tune for Disney. What is it about wishing that is so central to Disney?
Well, I guess it's just when you make a wish, there's just there's such a passion in your heart, a desire for something. And it's usually you're, wishing to the stars, or you're yearning. And a lot of times our characters, when they're wishing, they sing. So they almost have to sing. It's so emotional. And so for us, the theme of the whole movie is there's no greater power in the universe than someone with a true wish in their heart.
Today's storylines, they're very different from that of Cinderella and Snow White. We've had a South Asian warrior in Raya and the Last Dragon, a Colombian teenager in Encanto, the first gay hero in Strange World, and now Asha, who is Afro-Latino. There's not a sniff of romance in the film. Why not?
Well, in the theme of witching, right, we talk about someone with this passion in their heart to yearn for something. And her want for this film is not just for herself. We're excited about the uniqueness of her wanting the potential for everyone in town to be able to achieve their dreams. So we're really feeling the excitement in that and want to pursue that path of what that would feel like for someone to want more for everybody.
Whoa, what are you doing? Valentino, don't eat that!
It didn't work. When does the magic happen, huh? I'm talking. I am talking. Who knew my voice would be this low?
And Asha is played by West Side Story Oscar winner Ariana DeBose. What did she bring to the role?
When we create these characters, they come in for the first session, and then we start really crafting the character with the actor. And so even down to the way she would move or her little gestures, the animators study everything. So it's almost like, where does Asha end and where does Ariana begin? It's really, really close.
I'm so nervous, I think I'm going to explode.
My best friend, the king's apprentice.
My mouth drooping? I feel like it's drooping.
I so fervently have always wanted to see more representation of what the world truly looks like, and Asha's a part of that. Just young people in general really take into her, and that's part of what they love. They're like, sis has braids, and sis has freckles, and I'm like, yes, she does, and that's a good thing. We should see more of that in general.
People give their wishes to me, and I grant the wishes I am sure are good for Rosas.
Some of these will never be granted.
Not some, most.
They deserve more than
I decide.
There's one moment at the end of the film where all of the population are on their knees. As an adult, my reading was, it does feel quite a timely scene to be watching, and I was quite moved by that. What do you think?
I think we want to set the stage that the stake is very high for these people, right? And we want to take everyone to the lowest low. And even in that moment of everyone being pulled down and they have nowhere else to go, no free will, Sabino and Sakina still sing. That moment was very important to us, to have a multi-generational folks be able to express their desire to take back what was theirs.
And both of you worked on the big hit Frozen, of course. You won Best Animated Feature Oscar for Frozen 1. It made more than $1 billion at the box office. Frozen 2 made even more. How do you explain that film's enormous success?
Well, I would go to the success is really that familial love between the sisters. I think that's what really people connected to. I mean, there's so many elements. I mean, there's great music in that. There are great characters. There's a lot of fun. But I think it's probably the core is Anna and Elsa's relationship.
Let it go, let it go.
There are a lot of parents out there equally loving and hating you for Let It Go.
Blame it on him.
Could you still cope with listening to it?
Oh, absolutely. It's one of those things, it's a great song. One of my favorite moments still is, there was someone in my town, I didn't even know who they were. It was a middle-aged man. He had it was convertible, driving a convertible, and he was belting out Let It Go as he was driving down the street, and I just went, okay, it doesn't get better than this.
Disney's 100 years old this year. Do you have a favorite Disney film of all time?
I grew up watching Dumbo with my siblings, and I loved the fantastical world, the talking animal of it all. But the Disney's 90s musical film eras is what captured my heart and make me want to be an artist and make me dream of working at Disney Animation.
You've worked on a lot of Disney films. What do you think the key ingredients are for successful Disney?
I would say great characters. For myself, a lot of films I've worked on have had great music, because I think the music, the songs live beyond the movie and people bring them into their lives, and sometimes they mean something different than what they were in the movie, which is great. They make it their own, but humor, emotion, heart. I think heart is at the Disney films always have heart.
And Chris, the first Disney film, I think if I'm not mistaken, you worked on was for The Fox and the Hound as an animator in 1981. The first one you directed was Tarzan.
Yes.
If you had to pick one Disney film that's had the biggest impact on the world out of not just the ones you've worked on, but over the past 100 years, what would you choose?
Biggest impact on the world? Well, you'd probably go back to Snow White, since it was the very first feature-length animated film, and it opened people's eyes to the possibility of animation, and it wasn't just these, shorts that they were doing. So I would say Snow White.
To celebrate the 100 years, my son has given me his his Disney quiz. So I'm going to test you on 100 years of Disney.
Oh boy, here we go.
Would you like to pick a card?
Oh, pick a card, any card.
So who helps train Mulan?
Helps train Mulan. Well, Mushu, right? There's several. Well, and there's also the three friends.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like
I was going to go Mushu, but I don't know that.
Li Shang. I'll give you another go. True or false? Mulan fires a cannon that sets off an earthquake.
No, not earthquake, it's an avalanche.
Ooh. Yes, that is correct. And you have got Snow White.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
It's a bit too easy, that one, so I'm going to have a look at the next one. True or false? Dopey is the only dwarf who does not have a beard.
True.
You are correct. Well done.
What was the easy one?
Well done. The easy one was, what does the evil queen disguise herself as when she goes to visit Snow White in the forest?
Oh, the old hag.
The old peddler woman selling apples. So just a final question then. What Disney film represents the world that we're living in today?
I would say probably Wish. You know, even though the movies we make are timeless, they're also timely. So I would say it's of today, it's who we are, and I think it's just everyone that strong. Wishing, I think, that definitely is timeless to me. Everybody has a true wish in their heart.
And just before we go, as part of the 100-year celebrations of Disney, there are two impressive exhibitions on in London and Chicago. We're going to leave you with that. Thanks for watching. See you next time.